A country famous for discipline, technology, and order, yet it has villages where time stands still, temples and shrines where you instinctively want to lower your voice, not because it's forbidden, but because you don't want to disturb that tranquility. Japan is where you can eat noodles alone in a private booth unseen by anyone, and a few hours later find yourself shoulder to shoulder at Shibuya Crossing, the busiest intersection in the world. 14 days, 7 cities. A journey long enough for you to see that Japan isn't just a destination, it's a parallel world. Here, every meal, every train ride, every little alley has its own story. And in this video, I'm going to tell you all of them. Are you ready? Because this Japan isn't like the Japan you think you know. Japan is the kind of country where every season is beautiful. Spring means cherry blossoms, summer brings fireworks, autumn, the red leaves, and winter blankets the rooftops in white snow. So really, you can visit at any time. Just go. But if you're looking for a journey that has it all, city streets, forests and mountains, delicious food, and uniquely Japanese experiences, then this 14-day itinerary is perfect. From Osaka to Kyoto, then up to Kanazawa, stopping by Takayama, and ending in Tokyo. Regarding flights, it's most practical to fly into Osaka, Kansai, and return home from Tokyo, Haneda, or Narita. No doubling back means you save both time and money. Airfares typically range between $700 and $200, depending on when you travel. As for getting around the country, there's nothing to worry about. Trains in Japan are incredibly punctual, easy to navigate, and clean. Just get comfortable using IC cards like Suica or Ikaka for convenient metro and bus rides. Traveling longer distances between cities? If you're not planning too many bullet train trips, buying individual tickets for each leg might be cheaper and more flexible than a JR pass. Simply put, as long as your itinerary is clear, getting around Japan is straightforward. And in this video, I'll show you how to travel without getting lost, eat without any worries, and experience an authentically Japanese trip in your very own way. 14-day Japan itinerary summary. Day 1 to 2, Osaka, a lively introduction. Day 3 to 4, Koyasan, rediscover tranquility. Day 5, Nara, touching ancient serenity. Day 6 to 7, Kyoto, dive into classical culture. Day 8 to 9, Kanazawa, the golden city of refined living. Day 10 to 11, Takayama, back to the Edo era in the mountains. Day 12 to 14, Tokyo, a modern, multicolored finale. Day 1-2, Osaka, a youthful city with explosive flavors. Welcome to Osaka, a city bursting with youthful energy, irresistible street food, and a rhythm that never seems to stop. After landing at Kansai Airport, your private transfer takes you across bridges spanning Osaka Bay, straight into the heart of a city where sleek modernity collides with deep-rooted tradition. Your first stop, Amerikamura, Osaka's iconic street-style district. Colorful graffiti covers the walls, quirky fashion boutiques sit beside tiny coffee shops, and the youth of Kansai flaunt their unapologetically bold fashion. You might just catch yourself smiling. Their playful rebellion is contagious. Osaka is lovingly nicknamed the Kitchen of the Nation, not just because of the sheer number of restaurants, but because locals eat like there's no tomorrow. As night falls, stroll down to Dotonbori, where neon lights ripple across the canal, the Glico man raises his arms in victory, and street food rules the scene. Don't hesitate to line up for takoyaki, crispy outside, soft and savory with bits of octopus inside that melt in your mouth. Then step into a cozy eatery for okonomiyaki, Osaka-style savory pancakes grilled right at your table, topped with sweet salty sauce like a warm Kansai welcome. The next morning, start with a bit of history at Osaka Castle, set within a lush green park. It's a walk through time where ancient stone walls meet the glass skyline. Nearby, you'll find Nambayasaka Shrine, famous for its giant lion head stage, eccentric, eye-catching, and unmistakably Osaka. It's not crowded or touristy, just the wind, your footsteps, and a rare moment of peace in a city full of life. In the afternoon, head up to Umeda Sky Building, where you can take in a panoramic sunset over Osaka. The city sprawls beneath you, cars like tiny ants, and the sun quietly sinks into the clouds, a beautiful contrast between chaos below and calm above. On your final night in Osaka, don't skip Ichiran Ramen. Here, you eat solo in a private booth, face-to-face with a rich, steaming bowl of tonkotsu ramen. No distractions, just you, the umami-laden broth, and silence. Still have room? End with a visit to Okaru, a beloved local okonomiyaki spot. The atmosphere is warm, the staff genuinely kind, and the golden sizzling pancake might just leave you speechless for a moment, savoring every bite. Tips: visit Dotonbori after 6 p.m. for the most stunning lights. Sample many small dishes instead of filling up on one. Osaka excels at street snacks. In Amerikamura, many shops are cash only. Carry some yen coins. Osaka is the perfect starting point, vibrant, welcoming, and flavorful. And you know what? The journey ahead gets even more surprising. Where are you watching from? Tell us your city in the comments. We'd love to know. Your small message makes our mornings feel less lonely and gives us the motivation to keep creating more videos. Thank you, and we love you for it. Day 3 to 4, Koyasan, Sacred Mountains and a Night of Stillness. Leaving Osaka early in the morning, you'll begin your journey to Koyasan, a sacred mountain area considered the heart of Shingon Buddhism in Japan. The final leg of the trip is by cable car, taking you through dense cedar forests. The higher you go, the thicker the fog becomes. The air turns crisp and cool, and the noisy world seems to fade far behind. You'll stay at Seizen Inn, a centuries-old temple with minimalist design, tatami floors, shoji paper doors, warm yellow lighting, and not a single television in sight. In that complete silence, you'll suddenly realize stillness has its own sound, soft, weightless, yet deeply powerful. Koyasan has over 100 temples offering overnight stays, places where you don't just sleep but live like a part of monastic life, eating vegetarian meals, joining sutra chanting, and practicing meditation. In the afternoon, visit Danjo Garan, the most important temple complex in the area. The red Konpon Daito Pagoda stands out against the gray sky, surrounded by solemn wooden temples. A place where everything seems to pause, listening to the forest wind. Next, don't miss Kongobuji, home to the Banryute Rock Garden, which depicts a dragon soaring through a sea of clouds, a meditative work of stone, still yet full of motion. But the most unforgettable moment of the day will come when you step into Okunoin, an ancient cemetery with over 200,000 moss-covered gravestones nestled in the forest. Beneath a shroud of mist, a 2-kilometer path leads you to the mausoleum of Kobo Daishi, the founder of Shingon Buddhism. no one speaks. All that remains are the sounds of your footsteps on damp earth and the faint scent of incense drifting in the cold air. In that moment, you are no longer a tourist, but someone quietly searching for the stillest part within themselves. In the evening, you'll have a Shojin Ryori meal at the temple, entirely vegetarian, beautifully arranged as if each dish were a sacred ritual. And in a place with no Wi-Fi, no phones, you may find one of the most peaceful nights of your entire journey. The next morning, you're awakened by the temple bell before dawn. You join the morning chanting ceremony, surrounded by flickering candlelight and the steady rhythm of wooden drums. You may not understand the words, but you'll understand yourself. After a simple breakfast, take a walk around the temple grounds. Then stop by a small shop near the bus station for lunch. A humble, heartwarming vegetarian meal, just like the rhythm of this place. Quiet, yet profound. Small tips. Buy the Koyasan World Heritage Pass from Namba Station to save on transportation. Bring warm clothes. Koyasan is usually 5 to 7 degrees colder than major cities. Morning chanting starts at 6 a.m., so prepare the night before. It takes about 3 hours to travel from Koyasan to Nara. Leave before 11 a.m. for a relaxing afternoon in the old capital. After being enveloped by the mist and monk chants of Koyasan, you might think you've already experienced the quietest corner of Japan. But not quite yet. Tomorrow, Nara awaits you. And there, beauty isn't just to be seen, it's meant to be felt. Day 5. Nara. Deer, ancient temples, and a warm mochi in hand. After a tranquil night in Koyasan, you return to Osaka and catch the next train to Nara, Japan's first ever capital. If Tokyo is a vibrant youth, Nara is like a wise elder, calm, gentle, and filled with stories whispered by moss and crimson maple leaves. Your first stop should be Nara Park, a vast open space where deer stroll leisurely among people as if they've lived here for lifetimes. You can buy some shika senbei, special rice crackers for deer, and suddenly find yourself surrounded by these eager, lovable, little gods. Raise a cracker and they'll bow politely, a gesture that might exist only in this corner of the world. According to Shinto mythology, the deer of Nara are messengers of the gods, which is why they've been protected as national treasures for over 1,300 years. Within the park lies Todaiji Temple, home to the largest bronze Buddha statue in Japan. As you pass through its massive wooden gate, you'll feel dwarfed by the sacred atmosphere, where each chime of the temple bell seems to echo from another dimension. Nearby is Kasuga Taisha Shrine, famous for its thousands of stone and bronze lanterns lining forested paths, a scene both ancient and ethereal, like a brush painting brought to life. For lunch, stop by a small eatery near the park for a bowl of hot udon and roasted mochi filled with red bean paste, a humble yet perfect taste of Nara, soft, warm, sweet, and quiet. Just like the city itself. If autumn sun graces the afternoon, a glass of iced matcha under the trees offers the perfect cooling touch. Every Japanese city has its own flavor. Nara's is a gentle sweetness, like a warm mochi in your hand, or the feeling when a deer bows to greet you. If you still have energy, take a gentle hike up Mount Wakakusa, a low grassy hill that offers panoramic views of Nara. Temple rooftops, pine forests, and herds of deer grazing in the fields below. On your way down, you might catch a traditional mochi pounding performance. The rhythmic thuds of wooden mallets, a man turning the rice in perfect sync, and a crowd cheering in delight. It's a moment that feels distinctly Japanese, simple, yet astonishingly poetic. In the early afternoon, You leave Nara and hop on a train bound for Kyoto, the ancient capital awaiting you in the golden glow of fall foliage. From Nara, it's just about an hour by JR or Kintetsu train. Just enough time to check in, rest, and prepare to enter a whole new chapter. Kyoto, the soul of Japan. Tips and notes. Bring water and wear sneakers if you plan to hike Mount Wakakusa. The path is not too hard, but some parts are steep. The mochi pounding performance can be seen at Nakatanido near Kintetsu Nara Station. Arrive before 3 p.m. to catch the show. Nara has fewer hotels than Kyoto. Consider resting at a cafe during midday, then heading to Kyoto to check in for the night. Day 6 to 7. Kyoto, bamboo forests, geisha, and the Crimson Fall. Good morning from Kyoto, the cultural heart of every journey through Japan. Here, just a few steps can take you thousands of years back in time. 2 days in Kyoto is a slow, deliberate walk through some of the most beautiful slices of Japanese tradition. Your morning begins in Arashiyama, a serene suburb on Kyoto's western edge. Arrive at the bamboo forest early, when the sunlight first filters through the leaves and the breeze still carries the scent of night dew. Walking among towering bamboo stalks, the rustling leaves and soft light create an almost meditative space. Right next door is Tenryuji Temple, where the Zen garden shifts gently with the seasons. A place where you can simply sit still and yet feel yourself deeply moved. In Arashiyama, you don't walk to get somewhere. You walk to let your heart grow quiet, little by little, with each rustling bamboo leaf. In the afternoon, head to Kinkaku-ji, the golden pavilion, covered in real gold leaf and mirrored perfectly in a calm pond. During autumn, the scenery feels almost surreal, a blaze of gold framed by fiery red foliage and gentle ripples on the water. While visitors can't go inside, the view from the surrounding path is enough to turn every photo into a painting. As dusk falls, Kyoto transforms. Spend the evening wandering Gion, the old district where geisha still walk quietly through narrow alleyways. Hanami-Koji Street glows with soft yellow lights, lined with traditional wooden tea houses, as quiet and elegant as a classic Japanese film. Turn into Nishiki Market and treat yourself to local delicacies, from soft mochi, crisp pickled vegetables, to slices of fresh sashimi just wrapped moments ago. Kyoto was Japan's imperial capital for over 1,000 years. Today, over 60% of Japan's national treasures and cultural heritage sites remain here, a number that explains why every step in Kyoto feels weighted with history. The next day, if you seek deeper tranquility, visit Nanzenji and Eikando, two temples that shine in the season of falling leaves. Walk past moss-covered rooftops and paths blanketed in golden red. You'll feel time slowing down, just enough for you to hear your own thoughts amid the dreamlike beauty of autumn. For your final evening in Kyoto, treat yourself to a bowl of ramen at Sen no Kaze, always with a line out front, and for good reason, a rich, flavorful broth and noodles that strike the perfect balance of soft and chewy. After dinner, stroll through Pontocho, a narrow alley along the Kamogawa River, lit by hanging lanterns and the low murmur of diners in cozy restaurants. Try the Wagyu beef here, grilled medium, tender, sweet, and melting effortlessly on your tongue. It's the perfect ending to your Kyoto chapter. Bold enough to savor, gentle enough to remember forever. Insider tips. Visit Arashiyama before 9 a.m. to get bamboo forest photos without crowds. Kinkaku-ji doesn't allow entry inside, but the pondside view is mesmerizing on its own. Geisha typically appear in Gion between 5 to 6 p.m. Do not take close-up photos unless permitted. You've just stepped out from the endless red torii gates and caught the fading silhouette of a geisha beneath Kyoto's twilight. But ahead lies Kanazawa, a new chapter of your journey, one that's different, artistic, and full of quiet marvels. Day 8 to 9. Kanazawa, the city of art and ancient gardens. Set along the Sea of Japan, Kanazawa was once a cultural powerhouse and Japan's leading producer of gold leaf during the Edo period. Today, it still moves at a gentle pace, but not backward. Quite the opposite. It shines in its own quiet, radiant way. Visiting Kanazawa feels like stepping into a Japanese travel documentary, where every detail breathes tradition and artistry. Begin your morning at Omicho Market, famously known as Kanazawa's Kitchen. Amid the lively chatter and the smell of fresh seafood, stop at Mori Mori Sushi, the market's most famous conveyor belt sushi restaurant. When a scallop melts on your tongue, you'll understand why the western coast of Japan is called a treasure trove of flavor. Kanazawa is home to the world's thinnest gold leaf, so delicate that a single sheet can float in the air, and you'll see gold everywhere, in ice cream, in tea, even in ramen. Afternoon is the perfect time to stroll through Kenroku-en, one of the 3 great gardens of Japan. As the maple leaves begin to blush with autumn color, even the stone paths seem poetic. Beneath the old pine trees, you'll notice ropes tied from above, not just to shield them from snow, but as a form of winter art unique to this region. Right next door is Kanazawa Castle. You don't need to go inside. Just walking alongside its white walls and looking up at the elegantly curved rooftops framed by fall foliage will make you feel like you're walking through a living page of history. As the sun dips lower, head to Higashi-Chaya, the traditional tea house district filled with wooden buildings from the 19th century. In the glow of soft lantern light, step into a quiet tea house, order a hot bowl of matcha, and sit by the window overlooking a serene garden. If you're feeling adventurous, try the gold leaf ice cream, luxurious and deeply emblematic of Kanazawa. In the evening, before leaving the city, stop by Tsuzumi Gate, the grand drum-shaped gate in front of Kanazawa Station. If you're lucky, you might catch a street performance. Music plays under the dazzling lights, and in that moment, you'll feel that Kanazawa isn't just a destination. It's a cultural experience that truly touches the soul. Insider tips. Kenroku-en opens at 7:00 a.m. Go early for crowd-free photos. Omicho Market is busiest around noon. Visiting between 10 to 11 a.m. makes it easier to find seats and dishes. Sushi Ippei and other popular spots fill up fast on weekends. Reserve in advance. Performances at Tsuzumi Gate often start around 5 p.m. Check the schedule so you don't miss them. Just when you think ancient towns and fine art have completed your journey, the mountains begin to call, with a rhythm entirely their own. And Takayama, in the next chapter, will soften your heart like the season's first snow. Day 10 to 11. Takayama and the Japanese Alps. An ancient town and a mountain, onsen among the clouds. From Kanazawa, your journey begins to climb toward Takayama, a small mountain city cradled in the arms of the Japanese Alps. This isn't a place of skyscrapers or neon lights. It's a place where time seems to slow down, where you can hear the wind whispering through old rooftops and follow the scent of freshly grilled rice cakes along wooden alleyways. Start your morning in Sanmachi-suji, the historic old quarter where dark wooden houses have remained unchanged since the Edo period. Walking past the latticed facades, you'll feel as if you've stepped straight into a samurai-era film. If time allows, visit Takayama Jinya, the oldest surviving administrative office from feudal Japan. You can walk through original courtrooms, interrogation chambers, and a quiet Zen garden nestled within the compound. Takayama is one of the rare places in Japan where historic government buildings have remained almost completely intact. Takayama Jinya was in continuous use for over 270 years. In the afternoon, leave the old town behind and head to Okuhida, a hot spring village hidden in the mountains. Your ryokan, traditional inn, won't resemble a hotel. It's all tatami floors, futon beds, and a kaiseki dinner that feels more like art than a meal. Salmon sashimi, perfectly grilled Haida beef, steaming miso soup, and most of all, an open-air onsen under the night sky. Just imagine, soaking in mineral-rich hot water while light rain falls, mist clings to the mountain trees, and the only sound is the trickle of water nearby. No screens, no messages, just you, and a rare, sacred moment of stillness. Wake up early the next morning, and don't miss sunrise from the rooftop onsen, as the first light filters over the peaks and dances across the rising steam. After a simple breakfast at the ryokan, head to the Shinhotaka ropeway, one of the highest cable cars in Japan, lifting you to nearly 2,200 meters. From the observation deck, the entire Japanese Alps stretches out before you, majestic, golden, and crisp like a painting made of cold air and sunlight. That afternoon, board the Shinkansen and leave the mountains behind, heading back toward Tokyo, the final stop of your journey. If you need a quiet overnight recharge, consider Zen Capsule Hotel, a sleek blend of modern technology and minimalist design. A peaceful private pod where you can reset before diving back into the pulsing rhythm of the mega city ahead. Day 12 to 14, Tokyo, the ultra-modern metropolis. As your Shinkansen speeds into central Tokyo, one thing hits you instantly. Everything is moving, and none of it waits. After nearly 2 weeks among cedar forests, ancient towns, and misty mountains, Tokyo bursts into view like a live current, powerful, dazzling, and full of surprises at every turn. Start your morning at Meiji Shrine, nestled in a forest right in the heart of the city. Passing under the towering wooden Torii Gate, the noise of the metropolis fades away, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the earthy scent of aged wood. In that quiet moment, Tokyo stops being a megacity and becomes a green sanctuary where your day begins softly. Then, step into a completely different world. Takeshita Street in Harajuku. This short, vibrant street is where fashion follows no rules, and street food is delightfully bizarre. Try a sweet crepe filled with whipped cream, or visit Mippig Cafe where miniature pigs nap gently in your lap. Strange, adorable, and unmistakably Tokyo. Mippig is Japan's first mini pig cafe, and the piglets are so tiny you might mistake them for kittens dozing off. That evening, make your way to the Shibuya crossing, where thousands cross in mere seconds. From a cafe above the intersection, you watch the city dance, a choreography of light, speed, and unstoppable life. Later, dine at Wobe Sushi, where your food doesn't arrive by hand but shoots to your table on a high-speed conveyor track. a seamless fusion of tradition and tech, Japanese style. The next day, dive into Akihabara, the otaku capital of the world. Even if you're not into anime, it's hard not to be pulled into this world of electronics, manga, crane games, and eccentric maid cafes, where servers call you master and serve you like you're in a fantasy RPG. It's a Tokyo that's flashy, weird, and wildly fun. On your final day, visit Team Lab Borderless, the digital art museum where all sense of space and time dissolves. Walk through forests of LED lights, stand beneath virtual waterfalls, or sip digital tea that changes with your movement. It feels less like a museum, more like stepping into a dream of the future. Before you leave, stroll through Omoide Yokocho, a tiny alleyway lined with cozy izakayas, spilling out the scent of grilled yakitori. Then grab some quirky souvenirs at Don Quixote, light a final incense stick at the historic Sensoji Temple, and if you're up for a last burst of neon, wander into Kabukicho, Tokyo's sleepless playground of lights and stories. That afternoon, you roll your suitcase into the station and watch the bullet trains blur past in silence. Tokyo fades behind the glass, but its sounds, lights, and flavors will stay with you long after you've gone. Estimated cost for 2 people, 14 days, or $3,100 USD. Breakdown: round-trip flights, $1,000 JR Pass, 7 days, plus local trains. $450 accommodations, capsule, ryokan, to hotels. $1,100 food and experiences. $400 entrance fees, onsen, museums, MESC. $150. Of course, Japan can be done cheaper or in even greater luxury. But with around $1,550 per person, you've experienced it all. From Kyoto's old streets to Takayama's snowy peaks, from Tokyo's neon to the serene breath of Koyasan. 14 days, 7 cities. A living film where every frame wasn't just seen, but felt. This isn't just a Japan travel vlog. It's a journey you've walked, breathed, and been silenced by. In a morning chant at Koyasan, or while watching leaves fall in the quiet courtyard of a condo. From the gentle sweetness of mochi in Nara to the immersive lightscapes at Team Lab in Tokyo, each moment is a piece of a greater story, a travel guide, not just for those who want to go, but for those who want to feel. And what about you? If you had 14 days in Japan, where would you begin? The glowing lights of Tokyo, the quiet temples of Kyoto, or a silent night wrapped in snow in Takayama? Leave a comment below, because who knows, maybe the next journey will be yours, and I'll just be the one walking beside you telling the story.